Hi everyone, it's Deja from CrochetEverAfter.com, and the tutorial that we're going to do today is how to treble crochet into a center ring. So you'll see this technique a lot when you're working things like granny squares where the center hole is open. I'm going to show you how to create the foundation chain, join it up, and then treble inside of that chain. So let's grab some yarn and let's get started. So I'm going to start my treble, treble stitches, however you want to call it, into your center ring with a slip stitch on my hook. Now most times for a center ring you're going to chain 4. You'll find that most patterns that call for a center ring will use chain 4 just about for any stitch because it creates, it's easily joinable, easily to work into, and it creates just kind of the right size hole. If you need a bigger hole, you can certainly do that just by chaining more. I'll explain how to fill that hole in a little bit, but we're going to stick with the chain 4. So I'm going to join this chain so that it will become a circle that we can work into by slip stitching into that first chain. And I just grab the back loop, because as we work we're going to cover this chain completely, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. So after I join, it looks like a big mess and it doesn't even look like I have a hole. All you need to do is just grab both sides of your chain and pull it apart, and you will see the hole magically appear right there in the center. It looks kind of small now, but it's going to get a lot bigger as we work. So to begin our trebles, we need to chain 4, and that's going to create the right height for our stitches, and we're going to count that as our very first stitch. Then we're going to yarn over twice and go find that hole. So I'm going to grab the sides of my chain again and pull them apart so I can see that hole right there in the center, and I'm going to put my hook right through it. Then I'm going to yarn over, or lay over as I like to call it, and pull that loop up. Then I'm going to finish off my treble by yarning over and pulling 2 stitches off at a time. So first 2, second 2, and third 2. So I finished that first treble, and you can see that my hole opened up. It's a lot easier to see where my hook's going to need to go for the next stitch. So again, I'm going to yarn over twice and put the hook through the hole and just do another treble crochet. As you work, you can go ahead and work around your tail to start hiding it. I would still weave it in because this isn't a very big circle, so you're not going to get a lot of it hidden. That will probably have a tendency to fall out over time. So still take your yarn needle and sew in your end for a few more inches, so it'll help keep it from falling out, especially if you're doing like blankets that are going to get lots of washings. So here goes another treble crochet. Now for the treble crochets, I need to do 18 to get all the way around my circle. And that's just because the height of the stitches, you know, for a single crochet you would do 6. So this is 6 right here. Because they're much shorter, it doesn't take as many to get all the way around the circle. So I obviously can't join my round right now because there's no way I could get it over there. I would just make a folded up funny looking shell if I did that. So I just keep working around until I get to the 18 that I need to be able to join that round. Now if you're making a bigger circle, as I was talking about earlier, and you need to figure out how many treble crochets you need to get all the way around, all you're going to do is just start treble crocheting and keep going until you meet up over here. You want to put enough that's going to fill over your entire center ring. So I'll show you as we keep working around how my center ring is getting completely covered by my stitches, and then I'll end up with about 18 right before I join. Or I should end up with 18 exactly before I join, because that's what I need. But 18 is usually for your magic adjustable loops and this small center ring, the amount of stitches for treble crochet that you're going to need to make it all the way around. If your tail starts getting in your way and you don't want to crochet over it anymore, you can just leave it behind you and leave it out of your catching. So just kind of move it out of the way. You can hold it with your other finger and just crochet without it being in there. And then when you're done, be sure to pick it up and weave it in so it's going to be more secure. Let me try another one and I'll count how many stitches I have to see if we're close to 18. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm going to do 4 more. And I'm going to pull these kind of back to reveal more of my center ring. 18 is just kind of the normal number that you would work to get a flat disc for treble crochet, which is why I'm going that high, even though my ring looks pretty full. If you're working a larger center ring, try to go with multiples of 18 would be perfect, but try to go with maybe multiples of 6 to be able to work into it easier if you're still working in the round after. Let me see, I wasn't counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Perfect, 18. So remember, I count that chain 4 as my first stitch. So I'm going to join by slip stitching in the top of that chain 4. So I can either look for the first stitch and then go 1 to the right to get the right chain, or I can count up from my beginning chain. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to slip stitch that to close it, and you'll see that I have a nice filled in center ring that I can now work whatever project I want to work from it. I have a nice center, open center ring that's not too large, but if you want a larger one, go ahead and make a larger one. If you have any questions on this tutorial, leave them below and I'll answer them as quickly as I can, and thank you for watching.